said that there was something afterwards, the emotional part.
Something emotionally had happened to me, and it made me more open, I think, to being able to express my emotions. I think the most important thing for me is after you have a life-threatening experience, you start to ask yourself why I was spared. What am I supposed to be doing? How can I pay back the universe? How can I pay back God? How can I be of service?
Join us for life stories
and meaningful moments in the community. Hey there, glad you joined us.
February is Heart Health Month, and did you know that heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States and globally?
Wow.
And here's a question. If you're having heart surgery, what is a trait that you would like your heart surgeon to have besides skill and experience?
We're Doug and Lynn Nodland from SharingLife'sLessons.com, and today we're going to talk to someone who went from near death to new life. And you'll find out what trait he's glad his heart surgeon had. Stay tuned. We have Gary Lindberg here from Chanhassen, Minnesota. And Gary, you actually have been a producer of a Hollywood movie.
Yes, called That Was Then, This Is Now.
And Gary also is a best-selling author of 4 books. But today the story is about his heart, because he has a really big heart and helps a lot of people. But Gary, what happened to you?
Well, 5 months after my oldest son died of cancer, I ended up with some difficult symptoms that I didn't relate to a heart condition. So I went to my internist and he said, it's time to do a stress EKG.
And how did that come out?
It didn't come out well because I didn't complete it. I failed it completely.
So then what happened?
So there was a cardiologist watching the test in progress. So he phoned in and said, get Gary to see me as soon as possible. They told me that my condition required surgery rather than stents, which would have been quite simple.
How did you prepare yourself for that?
Well, the first thing I did is I interviewed the surgeon, which was available. And
good.
I wanted to make sure that he believed my life was important. And usually he spends 15 minutes with a patient. We talked for 45 minutes. I really got confidence in him as a heart surgeon. Okay. I met with a clinical nurse who took me through all of the process of the surgery so I would be familiar with it. And then they invited 2 older gentlemen like me to come in. They had been through heart surgery themselves. And
good.
The purpose was to simply explain to me what to expect after the surgery. I liked having that conversation because it meant they expected me to live through it.
Good. And what was that about, and did you actually feel that was beneficial for you?
It was probably the most important thing that I went through other than the surgery itself, because they were able to tell me that I was going to experience a lot of emotional disruptions after the surgery.
The surgery too, can you share that for people?
They said the surgery, which is fairly routine these days, open heart surgery, would take 3 to 3.5 hours.
Okay.
5 hours in, nobody had come out to the waiting room, and my wife was waiting to see how it was going.
So how long did it take?
It took over 8 hours. Reason was because just about every complication that could occur during a surgery happened.
And you mentioned that something really unusual happened. Can you share that for
Well, the
us?
doctor reported that during the surgery, at 2 different times, I died clinically.
Wow.
And they had to bring me back. But it was more difficult than that. They have to stop your heart to put in grafts to replace the arteries that are clogged. So my heart is stopped, and the assumption is that they'll be able to restart it.
But that didn't go so well?
It didn't happen at all.
So
they tried over and over again.
you're here now, so tell us what happened.
So what they did is over and over again, they tried to start my heart. They have these little tiny paddles that they put right on the surface of the heart.
Right.
Just like a defibrillator. And they shock you.
And when that didn't work, then what?
Then they tried it again.
This doesn't sound so good. So did your doctor have some other ideas on what he could do?
He was concerned about brain death because at this point I was off the heart-lung machine. They'd already replaced my heart. So he reached in, and for the next 30 minutes, this wonderful surgeon,
With his hand?
with his hands, massaged my heart to keep the blood flowing so I wouldn't experience brain damage. 30 minutes. This is hard to do because you have to squeeze very, very hard to move that blood.
So Gary, you had a surgeon that definitely persisted and didn't give up.
I think our 45-minute conversation helped.
And you made it through. But you said that there was something afterwards, the emotional part.
Something emotionally had happened to me, and it made me more open, I think, to being able to express my emotions. I think the most important thing for me is after you have a life-threatening experience, you start to ask yourself why I was spared. What am I supposed to be doing? How can I pay back the universe? How can I pay back God? How can I be of service? And because of the long recovery process, it took me a long time to figure it out.
So Gary, what's changed? And what is why you were saved?
Well, I did discover a purpose for my life after some soul searching. Why was I saved?
Huh?
And
What is that?
what I figured out was that I have a particular set of skills that could be much better used in an important way to help people. I write books and I publish books. And so from that point on, I have been much more cognizant of the books that I'm involved in. I've been looking for books that tell important stories that affect people's lives. And I'm involved right now in writing one of those books. And I'm looking forward to making a contribution such as I never made before. Instead of writing thrillers, I'm writing stories that are important.
Well, Gary, they're important, but they're also very thrilling. And we will be looking forward to your books and the good that you're bringing to the world.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
What about you? We'd encourage you to listen to your body's warning signs as Gary did and get help as needed.
You don't have to wait for a near-death experience to find your purpose. We all have strengths and traits that we can use to help others and to make the world a better place. And who knows? Maybe one of those is persistence.
We would love to hear your story. You can contact us at WeCare@SharingLifeLessons.com.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.